I want to do things that my parents didn't do. I wanted to see places my grandmother have never seen. I didn't want to get married. I didn't want to do what everybody else was doing. I know when I saw New York, I felt like I was in KL, one thing. Two, I felt alive. And I know the energy in the city is what I need to break the monotonous routine that I already have in KL. So when I came back, I wasn't thinking about going back, but I remember Nina, the director of the documentary center, said, Indra, you should apply for Fulbright. I said, no way they're going to give Fulbright to filmmakers. They only give it to all the top brains in the country, you know. I'm not going to get it, no way. I dismissed it, I came back, I didn't even bother. Janet, remember Professor Janet? She came around again, she said, Indra, try to apply, see what happens. And Hofstra University met all criteria. It was in New York, it was MFA, it was a 3-year program. It was a boutique program. So I had very handful of students. So I picked photography, music, dance as my team. So my first film was Leaving Jazz with Bill Saxton. It was about this aging jazz saxophone player in Harlem. The second film was about a female photographer in New York. So cute. To me, it's a topic that I would never do here, and I wasn't even afraid.
She shot those of us. That was yesterday. Over the year that we've been together, like, he took this image of me, and that was on the roof of the job that of his job.
My third film, by then I was already looking for stories for my thesis. So this is a pre-thesis film, The Game Changer. It was a school assignment. I need to submit something before I can qualify to do my thesis. And when I met Susan Slotnick, I know that events happened to me leading up to finding her was a trip to Creedmoor Psychiatry Center during one of the school assignments. That trip changed my life because I visited Living Museum in Creedmoor, and it was a warehouse, like a huge art center, and people who were mentally challenged, who needed the kind of help, were given art space to experiment, to really express themselves. And I knew my thesis was going to be that. So I was Googling. These were my keywords, you know, rehabilitation through arts, dance, venues like prisons, juvenile centers, psychiatry centers. It's going to be around this. Susan Slotnick was the only person who turned up in my search result. She kept coming up, article keeps coming up. And she was running this rehabilitation program in Woodburn Correction Facility.
And they're so beautiful that it's like watching a sunset or the ocean. Every minute that I see these men move, and they're supposed to be the worst people in the world, but when I see them move, it's like looking at something beautiful.
She said, come up to New Paltz, let's talk. I went. I told her one thing, I said, get to know me. Ask me anything. And share with me when you're ready. So we had that time, and so I started the process much earlier. So the rest is history.
Like a motherless child, and sometimes I feel like a motherless child.
One of my professors, Ashish Kumar, said, Indra, why don't you submit the film to film festival? The problem with festival for me was, first it felt like as a filmmaker I'm seeking fame and glory. You know, when you're a social justice filmmaker, that's the last thing in your list. And then second, to submit your film to festival, you cannot publish it. In many angles, it just didn't work for me. So I was against the idea. But Ashish sat me down and said, listen, you have to think differently. He said, when you submit to festivals, you're allowing your film to reach people that you normally don't know. You wouldn't do it. You're allowing your festivals to give your film an opportunity to be in places and towns and states that there's no way otherwise the film will get there. I managed to submit to a lot of festivals over a period of time. And then the festivals started inviting me to come to have a Q&A section. So I went to one festival and I went for another festival and then further, and then I became addicted to that discussion that happens after the screening. Then Game Changer kept getting into more and more films festivals, and I keep going, and whenever I could, when it's nearby, when I had the funding, I went.
Then I go to my brother.
Malaysiakini collaborated to do one major screening on my way back to Malaysia. So I arrived and very important people were invited, a lot of public came, and my parents were there again. I haven't seen them in 3 years, I didn't even come home. But the night of the Game Changer screening, I remember coming home with my parents. It was an incredible moment, and my parents said, "Indra, we want to talk to you." So they called me and I sat in the living room and they said, "You know something? You made us so proud that I think you're doing something in your life. From today onwards, mom and dad will never ever force you to get married. You do whatever you want with your life. If my siblings or my relatives ask me, I tell them." I said, "Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Pa." I sat for a while quietly. Everybody was quiet. They were just smiling. I said, "Okay, I'm going to go to the room." I went to the room, closed the door. I started crying. I felt like, forget Game Changer and the 17 Film Festival entry. Forget everything else. Forget MFA. Forget Fulbright. And I was so proud of my parents that night because they grown from where they were. 21 years old, you get married and have baby by 25, to 36 years old. Oh yeah, you do whatever you want because you're onto something. I was very proud of my parents. That's my biggest achievement in my life.